Hi guys, I'm Brittany Haas. I'm the owner of Haas Salon and I'm coming on here today to show you a Beachy curl tutorial. So I washed my hair last night and I prepped it with 7 seconds detangler. If I can find it. It's in my bathroom, so I used Unite 7 seconds detangler and I used Olaplex number 6 bond smoother. So to start curling my hair, I'm gonna use, right now it's really flat. So I'm gonna use Unite's Max Control. I have the mini hairspray on here to show you guys for the tutorial. So I'm just gonna kind of spray it all throughout my hair. It's gonna look a little crazy when you do that, but I want it to hold its curl. So then I brush it through. And then it has its hold. So the reason I like using hairspray is I feel like it gives my hair some grit and it's gonna hold it better. If you don't use hairspray, sometimes it's gonna fall quicker. So I'm gonna do a 2 sections on the side. So I'm gonna clip that back. And then I'm personally gonna start from the back just for the purpose of the video. So I'm using my Babyless 1.25 or 1 1/4 curling iron. And I have it set to the highest setting because I feel like they don't really get that hot, the Babylesses, so I want it to make sure it curls my hair. I'm just tapping to see if it's hot enough to pull it off. So now that I showed you how to do the first one, I'm gonna go in and do the second one. So I'm taking about the size of the barrel and then I'm alternating sections. So these two, I'm gonna go back and then I'm gonna start rotating. So I think the biggest key is when you're curling, don't go in and just clamp it down. Go and start twisting. If you go and you clamp it down, you're gonna have a mark, especially as you get to the top of your head, you don't wanna have all those clamp marks. So I'm going in and then I'm automatically opening this clamp right here and then turning and twisting. And then I tap the hair to feel if it's hot enough to pull it off. So usually it's about 8 to 10 seconds. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lightly release off this and just twist, 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 and then straighten my ends. Especially if your ends get frizzy and dry, it's good to go slow over the ends so it can smooth those out. So this one I'm gonna go towards my face. So I'm gonna go in and then I'm gonna start, this little guy fell out. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start twisting. So I like to see all the hairs like this. I don't like them all jumbled. I feel like it will get it crimped, so have it as smooth as possible. And I'm leaving a little bit off the ends. So then I'm going in straight, 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 straighten those ends. And that's just gonna give it what I call kind of like a skinny curl. They're not gonna get too wide and fluffy. It's just gonna give it some nice volume, but also keep it nice and smooth towards the ends. And then I'm putting this away from my face. Sometimes if these little guys like to fall out, if they're too thin, I'll hold on to them and then I'll start unraveling it. So then I have my curl. Everyone's hair and head shape's different, so sometimes I have to take more sections. I don't have a lot of hair, so I'm gonna do this in 2 sections. Most people have a lot of hair and they have to do about 3 sections. So I'm taking this and then I'm gonna do this one back. You can do them, especially if you're a beginner and you're learning how to do this, you can do it all away from your face and it will be a lot easier for you. And then once you get more advanced, you can start alternating them. And then smooth those ends out. These are our signature waves at Haas Salon that pretty much all of us do. And I shampooed my hair with Olaplex shampoo and conditioner. So I'm taking it and I'm turning it and I'm lightly opening this as I go so that it has some glide. A lot of people will open this too much and then all the hair falls out. So just lightly, you still want it to grip, but you want it to lightly move through the hair. And then I'm just unraveling the barrel, straightening the ends. And then as you work towards the front, those pieces are usually finer, so they usually curl a lot quicker. So that's what it should look like. I personally like just leaving it, and then I'll brush it out later. If your curls are too tight, you can kind of brush them as you go. But I like to let them set. So if you're doing 2 sections, which I feel like a lot of people do because they just kind of want to get it done quickly, you kind of do it from the recession. So kind of just where your hair starts to kind of recede back naturally. So I'm taking this back section and I'm going away from my face. And all of the products I'm using, we do sell at Haas Salon, so you can get those as well. So that's what it should look like, nice and smooth on the barrel. And then start unraveling it and then straighten the ends. So this one I'm gonna have going towards my face. I have some ends left out, so it's gonna make it more beachy. And then I'm unraveling it and straightening the ends. And if you have really fine hair or you feel like your hair doesn't hold a wave really well, I would not recommend curling it on clean hair. Unless you put a lot of product in, it usually doesn't hold a curl as well. So these are like my really fine pieces, but I want to make sure I don't curl. I want to leave this out. So this will just need like a little bit. So see how they're slipping through? I'm just going to hold on to them. The more sections you take, the tighter the curl will be. The bigger the sections, the looser. So I'm kind of in the middle for my hair texture right now. And then if you wash your hair not often, like once or twice a week, you can kind of just touch up these curls as you go. So I'm just gliding, and then gonna hold. And then I'm gonna twist, 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 and then straighten the ends. So this next part of my face, it does get fine. So there's like a lot of little short hairs. But I don't want to take too many small sections because then it's going to be really, really fluffy. So I'm just going to break this in to a smaller section. This one's going to go towards my face. So see how I'm just lightly gripping that and then holding it vertical to my head and then twisting it off. And then twisting off. So this definitely takes practice. I mean, some people get it the first time, but just practice, 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 you know? And then if you really don't know how to do it, just start with the healthier, thicker part of your hair, which is usually in this back underneath. And just, you know, before you wash your hair, just do a few sections, get used to the rhythm. And then, you know, just keep watching tutorials and you'll get it down in no time. So this little guy, I'll just have to do for a few seconds. And if you do curl it too tight, just kind of pull on it and that will help shape it to how you want it. So that's what it should look like when it's done. And then I'm gonna go in with a texture spray to kind of build some volume in and brush it out. So I'm gonna use my Texturizer by Unite. This is half hairspray, half texture spray. And you can see already like how much more volume and texture it gives to my hair. And I like spraying like up into the hair. Normally I would flip my head upside down and go from underneath to get more volume, but for the video, I'm not gonna do that. So you can see it's just like a nice effortless beachy wave. And then I'm gonna get some nice longevity out of these curls. They are a little bit tighter, but I like it like that so I can go a few days and just touch it up as I go. So my hair is fine, like I was saying earlier, so I just wanna use some Expanded Dust. So this is like a volumizing powder. If your hair holds curl well and has nice texture, you don't have to use this, but for me, I'm just putting a little bit in. Especially on this side's a lot finer for me. And then kind of shake it in. And then if you're wanting more volume, you can kind of just take your hair and fan it out one another. And here's the finished result. So hope you guys liked it. Hopefully you learned a lot. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below and then I'll show you the back.